Good Wednesday evening, everybody. Welcome to the Dirt Racing Network, a subsidiary of the Digital Sim Sports Network, covering all your dirt racing action. Aces up, big track Aces series at Knoxville Raceway tonight. Track looks like it's in amazing condition. About 24 drivers, 23, 24 drivers checked in currently. Guys are out getting in some warm-up laps. Very limited amount of time they'll have for that. We'll take this opportunity to fill you in that this is week 6 of 7. Next week, we'll close things out. Joey Lindgren has taken the points lead back after Tanner Pettit's horrific race last week. Pettit had it going in. He does not have it coming into week number 6. 9 points separate the two. 365 points for Lindgren, 356 for Pettit. Eric Whitner in third. He is a good 24 points back. Noah Carpenter is fourth. Kenny Hoffman is fifth right now. The Millie Maniacs are already at it tonight, guys. I appreciate you guys always being here. Sorry about the screen at the bottom. I got to turn something on here. It's always fun when you guys are in here. I get a kick out of it. Watching Eric Whitner right now. He's third in the points. Hasn't had a horrible season so far, but man, he sure could use a win. See if maybe he can jump up there and challenge for this championship this last couple weeks of the season. Right now, Noah Carpenter, guy just outside that top 3 in points, is our quickest. He is at a 14:26 on the board, and Lindgren 14:28. Big crash there. Normally you'd see a red flag for that, but not tonight. Speedy, Shay, Nate. Oh boy, here we go. You brought some more. Oh boy. We need more Milliacs in the world. I don't know what we're going to do until the numbers are right, guys. I really don't. Oh, car on fire, the 3J. Wow. Okay, they're going to get the helmet. Watching the high limit race here on the big screen beside me, and wow, that was interesting. Car was on fire down there in turns 1 and 2. So practice laps there. Tommy Scott Jr. in here tonight. I see a couple of names I don't necessarily recognize. Jeff Newbert, I don't know if I've seen him in one of these races as of yet. If he has, I must have missed his name or something. But all the regular suspects running around out here. Millie Mania. All right, well. We can all deal with a little Millie Mania. Michael Cooper on Bill. Here's a new paint for the 12 car, looks like. Bowen Smith. Good looking paint. A little polished aluminum look to it there. There's your boy, fellas. Up there on the ragged edge already, and we're still in practice. Trying to work the 9 car up on the high side, see what's going to be there tonight for our practice and our qualifying. We've gotten away from it for a while. We're going to get back to it. We did the last couple of nights, so it is time for us to go trackside for our opening ceremonies. When we come back, qualifying on the track.
We take you down onto the track for our opening ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Please remove your hats.
And now, please welcome Pastor Sam Foley from Port Orange, Florida, to deliver tonight's invocation.
Father, we ask today that you protect and bless those who participate in this race. May they use good sportsmanship and respect for each other. And we'll thank you and praise you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous flight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, as always, thank you to Sam and Johnny Foley. Practice session over. It is now time for our qualifying session to begin. 22 drivers going to take time here. We're going to figure out how they're going to line up based off of that time for their heat races. And Tanner Miller rolling it out onto the racing surface in turns 1 and 2. Not sure if he's trying to warm up the tires or what, but good luck with that. Going to get her up to speed. Green flag in the air for him. We'll jump around here and watch different drivers. Somebody just a little bit out in front of him there. They may be on their warm-up lap. Lap 1 for Miller. 14:93. Second quick, Yost at 14:87 is the quickest. Let's go watch. Oh, man, we missed him already. Let's go see if we can find Cameron Pritchard here. Yost still quickest, 14:87, but Thomason, 14:88 now. Josh Whiteman, 14:86, barely bumps Yost off, thousandths of a second there. Howe jumps up to the third spot. Whitner, 14:73, obliterates. The time set by McGeethy, Whiteman. Pritchard, not the quickest on his first lap, 9th quick, and lap number 2, going to put him second quick at 14:80, a 5 for him. Kenny Hoffman rolling it out onto the apron down there, 1 and 2. He'll jump up on the backstretch. That's right, Mr. Palmer. Miller, or I'm sorry, this is Hoffman. Hoffman going to try to get things up to speed here. First lap, normally the throwaway lap for every one of these guys. They are going to try to burn off a little fuel, try to make the track as long as possible to accomplish that goal, and then really get a good run out of 4, build up as much speed as possible. Slider line all the way up to the wall. Diamond's the center of the corner. Down he goes. Same thing down here, 3 and 4 goes up. Well, I think he pitched the car maybe a little bit sharply right there, but this time Hoffman. Only 8th quick. Noah Carpenter, 14:70 on lap 1. Lap 2, 1477, so pretty close to backing that up. The only driver not taking time right now is going to be Brett Wilson. He'll be in the 53 this evening, and of the 22 cars, 21 of them have taken time, and it looks like Noah Carpenter will be our quick qualifier this evening. So congratulations to him, as we will get ready to line up heat number 1. Just waiting for the drivers to start popping onto pit road. Here we go. Drivers are starting to grid out there, so we'll show you the starting lineup. It'll be that 42 machine of Noah Carpenter, the JNS Motorsports entry. On pole, and he'll have Tim Smith in the 86, two-time winner in the series. On his outside, Nick McGeady, 73 car. We'll start inside row number 2. Next to Michael Cooper in the 12 car, not the 120, the 12. Joey Lindgren, 16 car. Inside row number 3, your points leader right now. Then Scotty Thomason in that 6 machine. Make up the outside of the 3rd row. And your final row for heat number 1, the 12 car, Bowen Smith. And next to the 53 of Brett Wilson. Top 4 automatically going through. Everybody else playing in the soup, trying to find one of those final spots in tonight's feature through the LCQ. There you go. Drivers popping in, popping out. Only car I do not see right now, 53 of Brett Wilson. We had no penalties for anything to be carried over this evening, so everything will be pretty much straight up tonight. Guys, keep the chat lit up. Let us know where you're watching from. I know all the Millie Maniacs. I know who they're pulling for. And it's sad for you guys because he's not even here. I don't see Alex Bergeron's name in the lineup at all, so I don't know who you're going to cheer for. I'm going to have fun with you guys. Every time you're here, I'm just going to have fun with you. So, all right, looks like driver's getting ready to roll off for the formation lap. There's a look at your points leader. And he is going to start 3 rows deep on the inside. Got some work to do. You're going to have to pick off a couple of drivers so he can guarantee himself a spot in the feature. But he has got some fast cats in front of him. All right, Josh, we're going to see how he does. He is starting 3rd row outside here in this heat race. We'll bring him around one more time. Driver we were talking about there. Right here in, and I don't think we're going to get a good view from there for sure. So let's draw back. Let's try to get down here. There it is. It's on the outside of that 3rd row, that 6 machine, Scott Thomason, who Joshua and I are talking about. Lives just up the road, about 95 miles from me. All right, pace truck is in. The green flag is in the air. Heat number 1 coming at you. Car blinking, and that is the aforementioned Mr. Thomason. You're kind of sad. Why would you be sad, buddy, while we watch this? As Carpenter's grabbed the lead, Smith into 2nd, McGeety is hanging on to 3rd. Cooper solidly into the 4th spot right now. He's got that final transfer spot, and Linger looks like he is searching for something. He's running around in the fluff. He's trying to keep it out of the fence. Got Scotty Thomason bugging him right there, and Thomason's going to go by at least briefly. We'll watch the battle for 5th and 6th for just a moment here. Now it looks like Lindgren's starting to get things figured out. He's going to get around Thomason, focus on the Cooper car in front of him. That's the 12 machine. Top 2 starting to break away from these guys just a little bit, almost half a second now. Carpenter and Smith pretty much in lockstep. There goes Lindgren all the way to the outside. Don't think he liked what he found out there. 3 laps to go this time by. Battle starting to heat up at the front. Looked like Smith thought about the slider down to 1 and 2. Lost a lot of space. McGeethy and Cooper coming together, and Lindgren is now right there. So Lindgren trying to get to the outside of the 12 with 2 laps to go. Find some space, find some momentum. Loses about 4 car lengths. Out of 2 headed down the backstretch. No battle on the track except for these 3 cars right here. Final 2 transfer spots up for grabs. McGeethy in the 73, Cooper in the 12, and Lindgren in the 16. We're on the white flag. It looks like Carpenter or Smith are both going to transfer through. And McGeethy and Cooper are going straight to the feature. So Lindgren, Thomason, Smith, all going to have to work their way out of the LCQ, and that's going to put your points leader in a difficult position because he has got to transfer out if he is going to maintain that points lead. So, having said all that, let's get ready to go down here for the lineup for heat number 2. It's going to be Eric Whitner, the 17 car. On to the pole, Nitro Circus next level racing machine. And then the Speed Shop 51 entry from Ryan Avia, the 49 car on his outside. Kenny Hoffman in that Apex entry. We'll start inside row number 2, and he'll have Josh Whiteman on his outside. Joe Howe, the 43 car, inside row number 3, and he'll have Tanner Miller in the 9. There's all the Millie Maniacs guy right there. He's outside P6 for his start. Ryan Padgett, the 98 car, is going to start Shotgun Charlie in this one. Well, he doesn't have 9.5 laps in the heat. So are we waiting for B main feature or something else to do this? Because there's 10.5 right there. And that's way beyond the amount of laps that he even has to get that accomplished here. So, you know, I mean, if he's going to do it, let's go 3.5. He's going to send it real hard, trying to get 4th place. Oops, and away he goes. All right, ready to go green this time down here. 3 and 4, Whitner and Avia on our front row, getting ready to kick us off. All right, pace truck in, green flag in the air. Hoffman right across the nose of Avia right there. They're going to come right through on the track level speed cam right there. Whitner's got the lead. The battle's been for second. It looks like Hoffman's going to take that away. Avia back to 3rd, and Miller breaking away from the 5th place driver. He's in a transfer spot right now. He's only got about 2 more laps to make my prediction, man. I'll take the under. Well, you'll lose, buddy. Send the check to me now, because he's already made it further than you thought. Still Whitner, Hoffman, Avia, Miller, the top 4. Howe, Padgett, and Whiteman. And Whiteman, that 24 car just not getting up to snuff tonight. So the Finish Line Designs machine having lots of problems. We'll see if he can get that fixed up before the B main, because I'm pretty sure that's where he's going to be tonight in that LCQ. 4 laps to go. Whitner, Hoffman, Avia, Miller still your top 4. It doesn't look like that is bound to change anytime soon, as the gap's starting to grow here. 1st to 2nd, 2nd to 3rd. Miller hanging on pretty tightly in 4th. Well, does a blink out forever count as leaving the facility? Because he did it right there, and that was about 5 laps. 2 to go out of turn number 4. Whitner still out in front. And I think Hoffman was just searching to see what would be up there at the top. Don't think it gained or lost him anything. So around we go one more time. Little exploratory driving right there from the 1 car. Trying to see what was right at the very top on the entry. It's all Whitner. He'll go to the feature, bringing Hoffman, Avia, and Miller with him. So Miller automatically into tonight's A main. Hal, Padgett, and Whiteman all going to be in the LCQ shortly. Okay, say no. And who had 5.5? Nobody. Nobody had 5 or 5.5. So pay the dealer, boys. Pay the dealer. All right. Let's get down here for the lineup for our final heat race of the evening. It's going to be the 24 of Tanner Pettit, the Speed Shop 51 entry. On pole, and you'll have a Dirty South Sim Racing driver in the 21 next to him. That's going to be Cameron Pritchard. Tommy Scott Jr., the 04. Row 2 inside. Rob Yost in the 83 on his outside. You'll see Matt Grimm in that 91 car. Starting inside of row number 3 next to Jeff Newbert. Like I said before, Newbert in that other 21 machine. I don't know if I have seen that name in the server. I'm not sure I've seen that car ever. But he starts P6, and then Ross Kaiser. Kaiser, a multi-time hard charger this season, has yet to get on the top step of the podium in the winner's circle. And he talked last week at the end of the night about really wanting to do that before we closed out the season. So we'll see if he can come from a deep run in the heat race, get himself into the A main, and maybe try to pick up a win here. Said this wasn't his favorite or strongest track last week when we talked to him. Maybe Charlotte will be a little better for him next week. Bet. Yeah. Double or nothing in the feature, Nate. Okay, we can go double or nothing. You're gonna have to give me some numbers in the feature. I think I'm gonna do like 11. Is under. You guys are brutal. Just brutal. All right, pace truck is in. The green flag coming out once again. Underway for the final heat race of the evening. Pettit and Pritchard. Pritchard's got company on the inside. Now he's going to work off the top side, grab the second spot away. Scott will fall into that third spot. The battle for 4. Tommy Scott Jr. Rob Yost literally wheel to wheel right there. Here comes Kaiser. Haymaker slider. And that is going to do it. Kaiser going to be in the B main tonight. So he did not make things easier for himself at one of his not so great tracks, as the Haymaker just didn't work, and that car in pieces now. Pettit second in the points, first in the heat right now, hanging on, looking for the transfer into tonight's feature. Only 9 points back, so pretty close. He just needs a couple of good finishes, and he might be able to sneak away with the championship at the end of this season. It is the 2001 car. Pritchard second, then Tommy Scott Jr. Those three have broken away from the battle for 4th. Grimm, Newbert, and Yost all right here together. Now, final transfer spot maybe getting settled right here as Grimm really started to drive away from Newbert right there out of turn number 2. Inside 3 laps. Final heat of the evening. Watching the 4th place driver. Final direct transfer spot right there on the track. Tanner Pettit kind of having his way with this thing right now. He's got about 8, 9, 10 car lengths on Cameron Pritchard. Pritchard's got about the same gap on Tommy Scott Jr., and then it is a bigger gap, almost double that. Back to Grimm, but Grimm looks like he's going to be able to hang on. Pettit, Pritchard, Scott definitely going to go into tonight's A main. They're already across the front stretch and the start-finish line, and Matt Grimm holds on to that 4th spot. So Newbert, Yost, and Kaiser, cinch them up tight, boys. LCQ going to be coming at you. There's only going to be 8 spots up for grabs here. Do I want to know what that means, Shay? All right, your grid for the LCQ. 8 cars will make the transfer. 10 will make the start. Your points leader, Joey Lindgren, having to work his way out of tonight's LCQ to make the feature. Going to have Joe Howe on his outside on that front row. Newbert, Thomason making up row number 2. Then Paget and Yost in the third row. Smith and Whiteman, row 4. And then Kaiser and Wilson in our fifth and final row. And I'm telling you, I don't think Brett Wilson is making the call for... Oh, there he is. He actually did make the call for this one. His car wasn't there for the longest time. It popped in right before they rolled off. What song are you listening to right now? Uh-oh, here we go. This ought to be scary. Miller, at the end of the feature tonight, be sure that you come to the Discord for me, please. Don't want to know. Sure, we want to know. He's listening to the Spice Girls, I'm sure, or something like that. All right. Green flag on our LCQ. Great start for Joey Lindgren. They are bunched up behind, and that looks like that's going to work out for Joe Howe or Rob Yost. So with those two cars crushed right now, and we're going to get down here and try to take a very close look at this, because the green and white machine on the outside, Howe, really didn't do anything, got up in the fluff a little bit, and then got tagged. And Yost had nowhere to go, and he ends up upside down, and the whole front end knocked out, and the wing knocked off of the 43 machine. So, all right. So, quick caution. We didn't even get through 2 corners. Lindgren, Newbert, Thomason, Paget, Whiteman, Kaiser, Wilson, Smith, Howe, and Yost. And Yost car off the track. He's finished. Howe is running around, got no rear wheel. That thing is broken. I mean, that thing is really, really broken. I think he's going to be praying and hoping for somebody else to crash out. Okay, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say, man, I hope that works out for you, but you very well may be the next caution, with as much as that thing is dog walking and the front end is really wiggling around there. I mean, you can see that right front tire. It looks like it's barely attached. Maybe the tether is all that is holding that thing on. So, yeah, Josh Scott usually pretty quick here at Knoxville. So my curiosity as to why we're not seeing a little more speed out of that 6 car tonight. You're going to get all wrinkly and wadded here. Our pace truck's going to get out of the way. We're going to get ready for the single file restart with 7 to go. 6 to go. Excuse me, 6 to go. Lindgren got a good restart. Newbert, Thomason. No Christmas tree there. Blinky around a little bit. There goes Paget. Up to the top. Whiteman worked the inside. Took the spot away. Moved Whiteman up to 4th. Here comes Ross Kaiser. Kaiser, nothing but problems in the heat race, and he is looking pretty sporty out here right now in this LCQ. He's passing guys left and right. Literally on the left and on the right so far. I've seen him pass at least 1 on each side, make it 2 on the right now, as he moves himself into the 4th spot, and he is eyeballing at 6 and 21 cars. He may try to go 2 for 1 right here. Down in 1 and 2. It looked like it was going to be contact between Newbert and Thomason. Those two sharing push bars down the back stretch, and that sounded dirtier than I meant it. Thomason. Oh, thought about to send it. Took the front wing off of Newbert's car. Newbert going to have some fun driving that into the corners now with no downforce on the front end. So he is sixth. Needs to hang on. Got to finish eighth or better. White flag lap. All lingering out front. We'll see him in the feature. Kaiser, second. Whiteman hanging on to third. Thomason's going to hang on for fourth. Wilson from the back to fifth. Newbert's going to hang on for a transfer spot. Bowen Smith looks like he's going to keep a transfer spot. And Joe Howe is going to limp the most broken sprint car I've seen in a long time into... Oh, he's not. He's going to be scored 2 laps down. He must have had a black flag and got DQ'd. So Ryan Paget will hang on to that 8th and final spot. Howe and Yost are going to be done for the evening. So I'm sure he ignored the black flag right there. I told you, Shay, it sounded dirtier than I meant it. Some drivers going to roll out here and get a few practice laps in. Yeah, but I think he might have gotten DQ'd for having a black flag for something. And it probably wasn't a meatball because until they fix it, that is not a disqualifiable situation to have that. So he must have ignored another black flag that he got for something to get put 2 laps down. So you only get 2 laps to serve it, and if you don't, then you lose those 2 laps whether you finish the race or not. And that actually doesn't even matter if you get that on the white flag lap. It still does the same thing. It will put you 2 laps down because that's the penalty for it. So you can get a black flag, take in the white flag, not serve it, and get DQ'd. In whatever position you end up 2 laps down, that's your spot. Where's our little buddy, little Tanner Miller? He's not out there practicing. He probably needs some. Just kidding, just kidding. Ross got a big wreck there. Gosh, that looks like guys are just throwing away cars left and right here. Don't forget, at the end of tonight's 30-lap AMA, we'll talk to our top 3 and our finish line race designs. Hard Charger for the evening. Hard Charger gets free skin from finish line designs. I know Ross Kaiser picked up 2 of those already. Said he doesn't mind being Hard Charger, but he'd much rather be in the top 3 or even on the top step. So we'll see. His heat race was rough. His B main, he ran close to the front, got up to about the 4th or 5th spot there from mid-pack. And he made his way into tonight's AMA. Went to Hollywood. Noah Carpenter right there. Carpenter's kind of been one of the class of the field tonight, so we'll see if the 42 car can maybe pick up a win here in just a little bit. There's the 9 car getting a few practice laps in. Too famous to practice, huh? Okay. Don't forget, folks, tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Eastern, Elite Performance Industries, non-wing 410 sprint cars. Picking up the season where we left off 2 weeks ago because they had to take last week off due to some technical difficulties. So we weren't able to have a race last Thursday night. So we'll have one tomorrow night. Then we're back with the MARS Pavement Super Late Model Series. First of 10 races. First of 10 races with them, going to be every other Sunday. The sister series was on last night. The Short Track Showdown series. And pretty good show for those guys from North Wilkesboro. Just watching the drivers have a little fun here in the infield. Spectators beware. All right. Get ready to get down here for our starting lineups. For tonight's 30-lap A main, round number 6 of 7. Noah Carpenter, the 42 car, showed him in that warm-up session right there. Will be on pole next to Eric Whitner in the 17. Tanner Pettit, 24 car, row 2 inside. He'll have Tim Smith on his outside. Smith in the 86. Then Kenny Hoffman, the 1 car inside row number 3, next to Cameron Pritchard in the 21. 73 of Nick McGeethy inside the 4th row. Ryan Avila in the 49 on the outside. 5th row, inside the 04, Tommy Scott Jr. Outside the 12 of Michael Cooper. In your 6th row, Tanner Miller, the 9 car. There's all the Millie Maniacs, crazy people in the chat that you guys are seeing over there on YouTube. There's their driver. He starts inside row number 6. Matt Grimm in the 91 car on the outside. And Joey Lindgren, your points leader, going to start 13th tonight next to Ross Kaiser in that 8 car. Josh Whiteman, the 24. Row 8 inside. And he will have Scott Thomason in the 6 on the outside of him. Inside of the 9th row, the 53, Brett Wilson. The outside of that same row in the 21, Jeff Newbert. And the final row for tonight's 30-lap A main for the Aces Up Big Track Aces Series. The 12 of Bowen Smith inside, and the 98 of Ryan Padgett on the outside. Hit the trifecta. Give them to me right now in the chat, Nathan Palmer. I tell you what, I have got a hat and some decals that I will send you. You got to hit them perfect. They got to finish 1, 2, 3 exactly how you type them in there, Nathan Palmer. You want to make a side bet? I got your side bet. Green flag in the air, 30-lap A main underway. You got to go quick. Oh, see, we got cars wrecking already. Not any good there. Not any good at all right there. That is a lot of wrecked cars, folks. A lot. Let's see. Grimm is going to be a little deeper in this. This is going to start in front of him. Let's get down here a little closer, and let's see how this all comes to pass. It started right there at the front. Pritchard, Tim Smith, looks like Joey Lindgren got a little piece of that. Avila, Pettit, Whitner. And Whitner was the car that he and Pritchard are the two that initially started it. Pettit, Hoffman, Whitner. Okay, so now you're in trouble. Man, I got to think of something really good for you to have to do when you lose, which you're going to lose because 2 of your guys are already on pit road. So, let's see. It's Carpenter, Hoffman, McGeethy, Scott, Cooper, Kaiser, Wilson, Newbert, Pritchard, and Bowen Smith in our top 10 right now. On pit lane, Whitner, Pettit, Avila, Grimm, Whiteman, and Tim Smith. Joey Lindgren is also on. He is just off the track. I can't even find him anywhere. Yeah, I can't even find Lindgren's car anyway. He must have already ejected. Well, I mean, I hate that for you, but, you know, guess the news, you lose. All right, looks like we're going to get ready to go back to the green flag here. We filled up that whole caution period talking about gambling. How do we do that? Green flag, I'm back in the air, and once again, Carpenter. Another pretty good start. Going to get clear out there. Hoffman, McGeethy, Tommy Scott, Michael Cooper, Give and Chase, Ross Kaiser, the A car. And you know, that guy had a horrible heat race. Finished about 4th or 5th in that LCQ, and he is already up into the 6th spot in the A main. So he may be able to break his string of just being the hard charger and get somewhere close to the top of the podium, if not the top tonight. Brett Wilson, 10 positions improved since we dropped the green flag 4 whole laps ago. He is up to the 7th spot. Bowen Smith, 11 positions, as he looks like he's going to lose one to Jeff Newbert here. So move him back a little bit. Let's see. Still no Lindgren. There is a wing floating around in turns 3 and 4. Oh, who was that brought out our caution this time? Is that Cameron Pritchard again? No, that can't be. Yeah, it is. Let's back up just a little bit and see if we can figure out. He's trying to run right on the wall. Got the tires up there, pulled him in, pushed him out, pulled him in, and when Miller went by, Miller was trying to just get by. And it looks like Pritchard broke it. So, not good. So it looks like maybe Cameron Pritchard might be finished as well as that car damaged in the pit lane. This is an absolute war of attrition right now. I think half the field is on pit road. And we're 5 laps in, guys. 5 laps is all we have in. We've had 2 cautions that have taken out at least 9 cars. Hoffman, Carpenter, McGeethy, Scott, Kaiser, Wilson, Newbert, Bowen Smith, Tanner Miller, Thomason, and Paget. And Paget's the last of the cars on pit road. He is 11th. Here's Lindgren. Lindgren is back out there. It looks like Joey Lindgren is a couple of laps down, but going to try to salvage some points. And with Pettit already off track, that is going to maybe get him a chance to extend that lead. Couple of more rolling out. Oh, here comes Pettit. Tanner Pettit now. And Pettit actually still on the lead lap. Don't know how. His car's been off of the track for I don't know how long now, but shows him still on the lead lap. So he's just going to try to stay out there and maybe close the gap himself. A few spots is a few spots, one way or the other. So back to the green flag. Hoffman, Carpenter, McGeethy, Scott, and Kaiser. And Kaiser had a visitor on the inside in the form of the 53 car for a brief second. Brett Wilson looking down there now. A little bit of breathing room as we're going to go closer to the front here. Nick McGeethy trying to put pressure on Noah Carpenter. Going to go for the slider here. Right through 3 and 4, and caution once again. Josh Whiteman He had just come back on the track. I mean, he just rolled out right before the green flag again. Yeah, I don't think it's for Whiteman. Whiteman just went to the pits. So I'm not exactly sure who that. Let's see, maybe we got Bowen Smith in this deal. Oh, it happened right there. Paget and Miller get together. Bowen Smith gets turned sideways. There's your caution, folks. Everything else that happened behind that, pretty much irrelevant. You know, Nathan, I personally don't think so. Huge, wide, fast track. If you want to run against the fence, yeah, you know, there's some risk reward up there, but I don't know. Slider line at both ends or keep it kind of down on the bottom if there's any kind of a strip down there. And I think this track is very racy. It's the guys that want to get up there and run against the fence, and they're flirting with disaster the entire time that make it difficult. So, just my 2 cents on that for you. Yes, we should have. We should have done that along with your trifecta because you might have had a chance to break even. Yeah, I was getting ready to say, Shay, ain't he got something to be doing? Driver needs to work his hands, not his mouth. All right, lights off on the pace track, going back to the green. 23 laps to go. Finishing up caution number 3. Back to the green flag once again. Yeah, that looks pretty good. It looked like I thought McGeethy was going to put the right rear right into the fence right there, but he got it to jump down off that cushion and come down the hill. Tommy Scott for caution behind. Man, I'm not even sure what is going on here. I got so many cars that are showing wrecked, and I don't think that's even close. Yeah, I'm not sure who crashed. I think somebody must have just got a little sideways because I don't have. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it's not the 49 car. That's the only car that shows any kind of red on his deal. Oh, there it is right there. So it's a good thing we did go back there. He does get some contact in this. Gee whiz. We're having a tough time tonight at Knoxville Raceway. Oh, if only we had race control that we could have live so we could kind of jump in there and see what race control is saying. Who's watching the high limit race right now? I got it on the big screen next to me. They're doing the 4-wide deal. I don't know. I know they rolled 11 for the dice roll deal. I don't know if Larson took it or not. Looks to me like he's right up there at the front, so I don't think he took it. All right, looks like we're about to go back to green. Still 23 laps to go. A lot of guys back on track, several laps down, but a lot of cars back on the racing service. Tim Smith looks like he's the only retiree currently. As we go back to green, here comes McGeethy off the top side of the 2. Got a good run down the backstretch, going 2 for 1 for the lead, and promptly slams it into the outside wall in turn number 4 and gives those spots all the way back, and may give up a third on the way back around as Tommy Scott Jr. working the top side. He even tried to get around Carpenter. Now McGeethy goes down, gives a little push and shove to Carpenter. Car sideways, Brett Wilson in behind. Here comes a caution. And I'm pretty sure he just got T-boned by the 6 car. So let's go see. Wilson just looks like he just goes around down here. Oh, yeah, car in front of him. Kaiser clipped the fence a little bit, and that's what started it. And then he got swatted and then gets swatted again by Pettit. So, holy crap, that's a big crash in the high limit race. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 2 of them upside down. Man, is that aces up at Knoxville? All right, let's look at our lineup here. As soon as we can figure all this out. There's a bunch of guys back trying to get stuff fixed on pit road. Hoffman, Carpenter, McGeethy, Scott, Kaiser, Newbert, Miller, Paget, and Bowen Smith. The car's on track. That's the top about 8. Everybody else is in the work area. Yeah, I definitely want Tanner Miller to come to chat after the race tonight. All right, drivers starting to roll back out of the pits. We'll fill in some of the field. Hoffman, Carpenter, McGeethy, Scott, Kaiser, Newbert, Miller, Paget, Bowen, Smith. That's a 9th. 10th, Matt Grimm. Pritchard, Pettit, Thomason, Whiteman, Wilson, all still in the lead lap. Back to green. 20 laps remaining. We've gotten 10 laps in. Just finishing up caution number 5. Right on the ragged edge at the front. Going to give himself a little bit of a gap. Kenny Hoffman over Noah Carpenter. McGeethy didn't get as good a restart this time. 73 car may be fighting a little bit of damage as he has banked that thing off the fence multiple times already in the first 10 laps of this feature, and Tommy Scott still hounding him, now going by as once again the 73 car into the outside wall. That off of turn 2. Here comes Ross Kaiser. There's some more problems. I'm pretty sure that's going to be your 73 car. Like I said, he had banked it a couple of times off the fence. Kaiser was trying to work around him out of 4 right here. In through the middle, up the hill. Ooh, he got a little help there. That is not all on the 73 car. He got a little help. He went in the middle, had a car underneath him, and he got just a little bit of assistance. Looks like Carpenter got back around Hoffman while we were watching that battle back there. Hard to tell who to focus on. The action kind of happening everywhere right now. Once again, cars headed for the work area. We keep clipping it off a couple of laps at a time here. Most of them will get the cars completely rebuilt by the time we get to the end. Tyler Courtney's car absolutely destroyed. Tommy Scott Jr. taking over the 3rd spot, and look at that. Tanner Miller up to 4th tonight. Still 17 laps to go, but the war of attrition not affecting the 9 car much. All right, looks like the light's off on the pace track. We're going to go green again. Carpenter down off the berm, gets a good start, runs across the little tacky strip there at the exit of turn 4 on the inside. And the top 3 followed him right there, and they've got a pretty good gap over Newbert, who just shot around Miller. So did Bowen Smith. Tanner Miller having problems on this restart. He's lost 2. Will he lose a 3rd spot? As Brian Paget now working it. There comes McGeethy back. Oh, boy. Things getting a little dicey in here. Contact right there. That was, I don't even know who that was. I just saw a black and blue car right there. I'm not even sure who got sideways. I think he got it righted. He's going to fall way back. It's probably Michael Cooper. But Hoffman back around Carpenter. He's got the lead again. Now 14 to go. Top 3 really have broken away from 4th place Bowen Smith. A little over a second for those guys. Hoffman, Carpenter, Scott, Smith, Newbert, McGeethy 6th, Kaiser, Paget, Grimm, Pritchard, Thomason, Miller 12th now, restarted 4th on the last restart. Pettit is 13th, Whiteman 14th, and Wilson is 15th. All those cars still on the lead lap. And then it's a litany of guys 2 to 4 laps down behind that. Yeah, he is. I told you needed more practice. Pretty equal gaps now between 1st to 2nd, 2nd to 3rd, 3rd to 4th, 4th back to 5th. McGeethy into 6th, and he's got a lap car between he and Jeff Newbert there, and that looks like Joey Lindgren's car. Lindgren currently scored in the 19th spot, 4 laps down. Kaiser's back here in 7th, Pritchard to 8th, and once again, caution, you ain't going to believe this, boys. He made it 20 on a lap, so we all missed the over-under. He's right there. That's Josh Whiteman on the inside. Oh, just lost it off the right rear. Well, looks like he's going to get to continue. He did not leave the facility. That car just looks like it might be a little broken. Once again, drivers heading for the work area and inside 10 to go. You never know how much time you've got in there, so. Still, it is Hoffman, Carpenter, Scott, Smith, Newbert, the top 5, then McGeethy, Kaiser, Pritchard, Paget, Grimm, the rest of the way out. We'll have some more cars get back on that lead lap once they come out of the pits, but right now, that's the way it looks. And a lot of these guys close to the front right now don't have much in the way of damage, haven't been into too many scrapes. Maybe a little brush with the fence here or there. But pretty much anybody from, let's call it 10th on back, 11th on back, yeah, they've all been into the war zone tonight. All right. Just about 9 laps to go. Waiting for that pace truck to get out of the way. There he goes. Kenny Hoffman back on the throttle. Green flag once again over the speedway. Looks like Tommy Scott's going to have a run at Noah Carpenter. Slider into 3 and 4. Can Carpenter counter coming out? Big bump into that cushion up there. And Scott got the car out of shape, had to grab it back. That allowed Carpenter to rip right back by. Top side of 1 and 2 gives the momentum to the 42. Here comes Bowen Smith. Smith was using the top side of 1 and 2, goes through the middle in 3 and 4. Now goes back to the top side in 1 and 2 as Scott goes through the middle. Meanwhile, Hoffman starting to get away from these guys. Going to be 6 to go this time around. Newbert up to the 5th spot, but he's got company. Here comes Cameron Pritchard on the comeback trail. Started close to the front. Lap 1 incident. Looks like they've got that car straightened out pretty good, and he is making his way back towards the front. As he goes around, Newbert takes 5th. Kaiser back to the 6th spot. Up and down, sideways, backwards all night long for the 8 car. I think he's just going to be happy to get out of here tonight. McGeethy 8, Grimm Paget in the 10th spot. 4 to go this time around. Still half a second out in front. Kenny Hoffman. And he is right against the top. Don't know that he could get a lot closer without actually whacking the fence right there.
All right, man. Caution is out.
Caution. Oh, boy. I don't know if it's Avia or McGeethy, but they both show up in my crashed vehicle list, and they're right beside each other, so this could be pretty interesting. Avia right against the fence, McGeethy in, and oh, man, that was not pretty. That was ugly. I want to see that again. It looked like McGeethy's car just went in there like he was going to slide it, and then it just stopped. Yep. And he went right to the top. Looked like maybe he lost enough momentum, it slowed down, and he just pancaked Avia. So, at the moment, Hoffman, Carpenter, Scott, Smith, Pritchard, Kaiser, Newbert, Grimm, Paget, Thomason, and then Pettit. And when we cycle back through here, it looks like Bowen Smith currently is the hard charger. He's up 14 spots into that 4th position. Make it 15. Because right now he's shown as 5th because Josh Whiteman off track and iRacing has no idea where he's at, so it puts him 1st. So he will be 4th, and that'll be 15 spots improved. Oh, Brett Marks has absolutely annihilated the 19 car tonight over at Tri-Cities. Whole front end knocked out from under that thing. And actually, Josh, it would have been ×3 if he could pull that off tonight, because he's got 2 already this season. So, but it would have been back-to-backs. So, dwindling it down, we're going to have a green-white checker finish on this one. Hoffman, Carpenter, Scott, Smith, Pritchard, the top 5. Kaiser, Newbert, Grimm, Paget, Thomason, Pettit, and Josh Whiteman in that 24 car scored in 13th. Still on the lead lap. Cooper is a lap down. Whiteman and McGeethy and Avia are in the pits. I don't know if they're going to return. So some guys will move up, some guys will move down, but the green flag back in the air. Green-white checker. As we watch your leader, Kenny Hoffman, down the backstretch into 3 and 4, coming around this time. He's going to see the white flag first. Battle might be for 3rd. Bowen Smith and Tommy Scott look like they were going to get at it a little bit here, and they still might. It is all Hoffman. He goes through 3 and 4. He sees the checkered flag in front of him, and he'll pick up the win tonight. Carpenter 2nd, and Tommy Scott Jr. going to hang on for the 3rd spot. Cameron Pritchard in 4th, and Bowen Smith in 5th, as Pritchard got around Bowen very late there. But Bowen Smith's still going to be our hard charger tonight. Picks up 14 spots. So we're going to talk to Bowen. He really needs to bring that thing around on the front stretch. That's fantastic. I'm glad he can hear me. All right, you just hang out right there, and I will get to you. I'm going to get to these other interviews, and then I'm going to bring you in at the very end here. I just got a couple of questions I got to have answered. So here's our hard charger. We're just waiting for him to show up in the chat tonight. down here in Discord. As soon as I say that, he backs it into the worst possible spot he could find for me. Daggum that guy. Yeah, it's going to have to be that, or it's going to have to be that. So, just waiting on our drivers to make it from the top three and our hard charger. And Kenny Hoffman made it in down there. There's Noah Carpenter coming in. I am waiting. I want to talk to our hard charger first. So I'm just waiting for Bowen Smith to hip hop and pip pop in. There he is. Make sure that I got his levels good so that you folks at home can hear him. Let's drag him up here. Bowen Smith, got a copy.
Oh, hello.
Hey, man, good a run tonight. 14 spots. Kind of got clipped there on the last lap and lost one, but tell us about your feature.
Well, it was a very tough race. I mean, a lot of cars in there, a lot of fast guys, and I got lucky getting by all the accidents that happened. Very tough track. Slick as could be. I mean, it was fast, what I wanted the track to be, just maybe felt my car fell off a little bit there towards the end, but felt pretty good.
Well, you said pretty tough track. I have never had to experience this place in what I call, being tough. And I know a lot of guys like to run up the fence, and there's a lot of risk reward there. But, man, we saw a lot of cautions tonight. Was the track super rough, or was it just because it's super dry and everybody's got to run the car a certain way, and it's really kind of more about being prone to looping it or being a little more out of control because of the way you have to run these cars right now?
Well, I think it was a little bit of both, the track and the way people were driving the cars, because some people were not using their heads, some were, and some were driving the track just a little bit wrong, to my opinion. But it all depends on how people decided to drive their car tonight, and didn't go well for a lot of people. I know a lot of people got caught up in a bunch of stuff that they didn't even want to be in, but that's all part of racing, and avoiding it's the other part of racing.
Well, a great run tonight. I see Finish Line Designs on the race car, and that looks like some pretty fresh paint on there. But you're going to pick up another free skin, man. Are we going to see something different for next week?
I might save that. Maybe use it later down the road.
All right, man. Give us some shout-outs, some thank yous, and we'll let you get out of here tonight after a great run.
Well, I'll give a shout-out to the whole STR team. I mean, they helped out all night long. We're all a big team. We help each other out. Scott Thomason, the organizer of the team, he helps me out a lot. And, the very host of the league, Chad Griggs, he's a very good guy. He's putting up a good bit of people with money and helping a lot of people out with this iRacing stuff.
All right, man. Congrats on a good run and a hard charger tonight, and we'll look forward to seeing you close the season out next week.
Great. Thank you.
Bowen Smith, our hard charger this evening. We were going to grab Tommy Scott, but I don't see him anywhere. So, Tommy Scott finished third. Let's move on, and let's try to go to our second place driver. That is Noah Carpenter. Is nobody actually sitting on track tonight? No, it doesn't look like it. Well, we'll sit here and we'll look at the winner, but we're going to talk to Noah Carpenter nonetheless. Noah Carpenter, Roger Wagner, DRN, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, you battled up front all night with the guy in the one car, and you come out one spot short, man. Tell us about the feature and how tough the track was.
Yeah, I mean, I really wasn't expecting to get quick time. That usually not a whole lap hero guy, but yeah, that feature track today was really difficult to pass. I mean, really treacherous just to run by yourself, so it's difficult when you're in a pack like that. But it was a whole lot of fun. I mean, it was good racing with Kenny, and yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, it looked like you guys were really having to be a little aggressive, but try to be careful all at the same time up there around the top, and that's really difficult here. What were you finding up there that was able to even keep you up to the second spot? Because a lot of guys were following in you guys' tire tracks.
Yeah, I mean, with the cushion being so thin and it being so slick like that, you've got to enter all the way up on the cushion or slide up to, which is always so treacherous around this place. And it was really a dominant line for most of the race, as we saw with everyone following up there.
Well, you're close in the points, and a good finish tonight might help propel you a little closer to that top 2 or 3 with the top guys in front of you all kind of having bad nights. 1 week left. Can we see the 42 maybe not only steal a victory next week, but pull in and crank off the championship right on the last night?
It'd be an awesome way to end it after having a few down weeks. But, yeah, I mean, we're definitely not out of this championship fight. I mean, almost got perfect night tonight with qualifying quick time, winning the heat race. A lot of points gained right there. And as you're saying, it was a tough night for a lot of the top contenders.
Well, an awesome run, man. Give us some shout-outs, some thank yous, and we'll let you get out of here.
Yeah, huge thank you to M9 Performance for bringing me on board. It's been a lot of fun with them. They've helped me so much to progress in the last few years, and I just can't thank them all enough.
All right, man. Well, congrats on a great run, and we'll look forward to seeing you try to close this thing out next week.
Yep, see you then.
Noah Carpenter, your second place finisher tonight. And Tommy Scott, thank you for putting that in the chat and letting us know what was up. We'll make sure everybody knows that Chad and everybody are thanked by you for their doing this for everybody. Understand when people have things to do. Let's get him in here. We've been talking to him. He's been making a lot of podium runs. And now he's going to... There he is. He finds the unmute mic button. Kenny Hoffman. You there, buddy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, fantastic run. You battled with Carpenter there. You come up with the handle of the stick and not the broom end, man. Tell us about tonight's feature.
It was really, I don't know, sketchy. That very first lap incident between, almost everybody up there. I got my left front clipped, and I thought for sure it was, we were done. I thought it'd be broke, but it didn't turn out to be too bad, and we were able to hang on. The track was hard to pass. Even though it was in the lead, I saw an opening, and I took it, and thanks to him for racing me clean, because we definitely threw some haymakers on each other and parked it on each other's snouts. But that's what you got to do when the track's as dead as it was, and there's not really any other line coming in other than just running the top. There's the way the bottom kind of played in with how dark it was, and there was no marbles or nothing. So thanks to Noah for having a clean race. And yeah, it was definitely real challenging up on the top, because Knoxville gets real bumpy and giant mountains of dirt up there and all that. But yeah.
Well, we like when you guys have risk reward. I'm going to ask you real quick before we close this out tonight. So this is the last week on this build. We get the new build next week, and actually I think we get it on race day. What are your anticipations, and how are guys going to scramble to try to get setups ready to finish out a season when it's as competitive as it is in this series on a brand new build?
Yeah, it's definitely going to be challenging. I believe June 6th was the new update, and I don't know if that's a Tuesday or Wednesday. It's a Tuesday. So yeah, we get 1 day before race day, the final week of the season. We got some guys battling for a championship. So I kind of assume Tuesday is going to be a lot of just no lifing and trying to get this stuff dialed in. It's going to be a real challenge. We don't really know too much, but I can assure you it's going to be completely different than what it is now, which is going to be a good thing. So, also for myself, and I'm sure for others, I'm really excited for this new update. So, we'll just see how it figures, how it plays out. I can tell, I mean, I would think Charlotte, the way it usually is, just banging the wall down. I don't think it's going to be that way next week with this new build. So, hopefully it just makes it more racy and all that. And yeah, just definitely, gonna have to spend a couple hours testing.
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to the new build, and I'm hoping everything that they say they were going to fix, they do fix, and it takes away a lot of the problems, and people can get excited about getting back to it, and we can start having some awesome league racing. But, man, you had an awesome run tonight. Give us some shout-outs, some thank yous, and I wanted to mention also, with you and Carpenter have great runs tonight, and the top two in points really having horrible nights and finishing way down low in the standings. That's going to put about 5 of you guys all right there battling with the last week to go. So I think you're still in this deal.
Yeah, I haven't really been focused too much on the points, just taking it 1 week at a time. I just think I had 2 weeks in a row where I got KO'd from people. I think that's just really going to come in and, really hurt us. So, just taking it one step at a time, just week after week, just trying to get, wins, and, we'll see what we can do next week. But, before I go, I just got to thank all my teammates, Racecraft Academy. And I know, unfortunately, Eric had a short end of the stick tonight on the first lap. But, Ross had some really good charges up the field there. Just shout Racecraft Academy, Nitro Circus, Next Level Racing, Apex Gaming PCs, and then, everybody for running the league, and thank you for broadcasting for us on Monday nights.
All right, man. Well, thanks for chatting with us. Congrats on the win. We'll look forward to seeing what you can do next week. Close this thing out at Charlotte.
Yep, thank you.
Kenny Hoffman winning tonight's A main. It'll bring him right up into the points here. Let's quickly look at our finishing results. Hoffman, Carpenter, Scott in the top 3. Pritchard in 4th. Hard Charger Bowen Smith comes home 5th. Kaiser, Newbert, Grimm, Thomason, Paget rounding out that top 10. Then Pettit, Whiteman, Cooper, Whitner, McGeethy, Avila, Lindgren, and Wilson making it through the top 18. And Tanner Miller. Bad T. Millie. And we're fixing to talk to him here in just a moment. He finishes 19th right in front of Tim Smith. Tim Smith, lap 1 incident, did not even get a chance to run through this one. So now, before we close things out, I asked him to come to the chat. I'm going to bring him into the channel with me. I'm going to ask him a couple of questions because it's important. First of all, how did we start 4th on that restart and end up like 13th or 19th or 32nd, whatever it was, in 3 laps? Tell me about that.
Yeah, so what happened was I didn't realize the car was damaged in that wreck in turn 1 and 2 with I think it was McGeethy and Ross Kaiser. I didn't realize it, but I went back and watched the replay, and the wing got damaged, but everything else in the car felt fine. And I don't know that my spotter let me know that I had damage to the car, so that didn't help.
All right, so now we're going to get to what I really asked you to come here for, because my chat fills up with all these guys, and I think they're guys. I think they're guys. I'm going to say they're guys.
I hope they are.
I hate to do the whole not we, they, them, whatever thing. But the Milliacs, the T Millie Maniacs, all those. Man, how do you find these guys, or do they just gravitate towards you?
Man, that's a good question. I think both answers can be true. I'm out in the wilderness every once in a while, and I run into them everywhere, man. Everywhere I go.
Okay, so the next question that goes into that then is since you run into them, do any of them have brain damage, or do all of them have brain damage?
I mean, I'm going to have to plead the 5th on that one.
That is an excellent answer, sir, and I can appreciate that. I have a lot of fun with those guys, and I know you get to listen because you kind of pay attention to the broadcast and go, it wouldn't be nearly as much fun without them, but I wanted to get you in here because they make a lot of noise, and they do it on your behalf, and so I thought you'd give you a chance to tell them thanks for being in the chat. I want to thank them myself, but I give you the opportunity to get in here and tell them thanks for being here every week and cheering you on, man.
Yeah, thanks to all the Millie boys. Wish I could have put on a better race. I mean, we had to start in the back for this one. I think we went from 20th to 4th, but man, I would just stop listening to my Mariah Carey CD when I'm time trialing, bro. Like it's hard to see because like the tears are coming down my eyes. So, I can't really see the track that well whenever I'm qualifying, but it always helps me out in the future. So every week's a good week, man. And I appreciate everything you do. And I'm glad we get to have fun every Wednesday night.
All right, man. We're going to look forward to seeing you close this thing out next week, man. I just wanted to give you a chance to come in and answer a couple questions. Give a shout-out to your boys because I know they're sitting out there still listening to see where this was going to go. I'm not going to ask all the questions they wanted me to ask if you're washed up and this and that and the other because it's way too early for all of that. You got a long career ahead of you, buddy. But thanks for dropping in, and we'll look forward to seeing you next week, man.
Yeah, thank you again. I appreciate it.
All right. Wanted to get T Millie and give his boys a chance to hear him say thanks for all the ruckus that they make in here every night. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the show. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Eastern, for the Elite Performance Industries Open Wheel or Non-Wing 410 Sprint Car Series. Those guys, a lot of fun to watch. They've been with us for a while, and they're a whole lot of fun to watch. And then come back on Sunday night at 8 o'clock Eastern for the MARS Super Late Model Pavement Series as they go first week of the season. 10 weeks to go. They're going to go every other Sunday, so it's going to run for a while. Be sure you tune in for that. Like, share, follow on the Facebook page. Subscribe on YouTube and Twitch. Thanks to everybody for being in chat, guys. Without you guys, there's no reason to do this. Without all these leagues, there's nothing for us to do, so we appreciate everybody. Want to say thank you especially to those that allow us the opportunity to come and show you the fun racing.